Welcome.
Happy Launch Day.
Episode 16 of
16 is Launch Day.
Twin Tail Studios podcast.
Is it 16?
It's episode 16.
We should have shoved in another episode before we launch because then it'll be 17. There's episode 17 dropping on the 17th.
This
the day of our launch
This
day.
podcast can now legally drive. So I think that's a good
I think we'll... Well, I was going to say I would drop it on Monday, but then that's not the launch day. So
we're recording this on the weekend. It's Sunday, right? Yeah.
It's a sunny Sunday.
But we're releasing this on February 17th, which is the same day as the Malice of Light Adventures.
No. It's the same day that Smoldering Vein releases.
Which is the same day that the Malice of Light Adventures...
Dude, what a coincidence.
Gamefound goes live. And yes, it's exciting, but also we're very nervous about it, obviously.
He's
I have no idea what to expect.
He's nervous. Yesterday I was in... Let me tell you a little story. Yesterday I was in Lafayette, Indiana, where we're from, our hometown. And I went to Barnes & Noble to do a signing. Normally when I do these signings, if anybody who doesn't know how these book signings go, if you're a lowly author like myself that doesn't have a publishing house behind them.
Lowly. You're low.
I thought you were saying I was talking.
Low on the totem pole.
Low on the totem pole. I'm not Matt Dinneman, who fills up these places and gets catered to.
Who's that?
He's the guy that writes the big one, the big stink. Dungeon Crawler Carl, that everyone seems to love.
I don't get it.
Matt's a cool guy, though. I've only read half the... I'll get into that later. Anyway, my book signings don't go that well. Usually I just kind of show up. It's a way for me to get my books on the shelf there, because if you're an indie author that goes through print-on-demand services, Barnes & Noble will only really stock your stuff if you go there to sign them. So I'm not really like getting much out of that besides getting my books on the shelf, and it's kind of fun just to meet people and everything. But anyway, if I do a book signing here in Noblesville, I get like maybe a few books ordered. And it's like, okay, cool. I got 5 books on the shelf. I went to Lafayette, and I didn't even ask for this, but they ordered like 20 copies of Accurate Sky, 15 copies of With the Roots, 6 or 7 copies of the Relic Myers books. So it was like I had a big table full of stuff. It was pretty cool. And I blew through like 4 copies of Accurate Sky and 2 of With the Roots before I was even set up. I was kind of trying to set up, catching up, with people coming up to the table. But
did you sell any Relic Myers?
Yeah, I sold like... there were a lot of people who just bought the first of each series because like I don't know where to start. I'll just get the first of each series. So I sold like maybe 6 Relic Myers books. None of the sequels. They had like 2 copies. Actually, no, I did sell. They had 2 copies of Harmony of Hexes. I sold one of those. So I say I sold it. I didn't sell it. The bookstore sold it. But anyway, it was great. I got rid of like all but 1 copy of Accurate Sky, and people were pretty stoked about the game. I had the game set up. I had the book box. Is this in shot right now?
Probably not.
Huh?
It's probably not.
You didn't get the table and the view?
No.
Oh, what was it? Just our faces?
Yeah, there's not much to work with here. It's like the
so,
bottom of the table.
So it's up here.
No, you can put it right there.
So I had if you're listening to this, we also have a video. So our YouTube actually plays our.
Yeah, we're holding up demo products.
Yeah, this is what you can go buy. Today at noon. I'm not sure. Should we drop this at noon or drop it early ahead of time?
We can drop it early. It's fine.
So we'll drop it early.
People aren't like necessary.
Yeah, if you're listening or watching this before noon, set a reminder on your phones for noon
Eastern time.
Eastern, which is like 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning if you're living on the West Coast, right? Something.
It's like
I don't know how time works. I don't know what time zones are.
It's 11.
In Europe, the whole continent isn't like one time zone. And
no,
we're like
if it's at noon, then it's like 9 o'clock and 9 a.m.
So yeah, set your reminders, because I think it'd be pretty exciting if we funded in the first hour. Like it'd be kind of cool. So
I mean, it would be awesome. Like I would be over the moon if we funded on the first day at all. Like we do the way we're if you're listening to this or watching this before the Gamefound is actually live, the way we're doing this is we're doing daily unlocks, and we're basically putting the funding goal for everything we want in the game, and then we're going to be doing daily unlocks every day, showing some of those upgrades to the core box to just... I mean, I think the initial value of the game is pretty good, but like once we have all those unlocks, like that's a good price for that game.
Yeah. The usually people will expect a little bit of a discount, like when you back a game, because you get a little early, so like you're getting on the ground floor. The way the current offering, like if you go there on day one, you see that's like an MSRP game right there. It's a good value, but you're paying like
premium
retail price.
I mean, and also like it doesn't show the quality of the game. Like this is going to be a quality product. Like, you know,
my point being is the daily unlocks are like when we get to the last day of the campaign and you see the full package, that's when you're like, wow, I'm getting a great deal here, you know. So like right now what you're seeing on day one probably is like kind of just a normal value, so we're not like, it's not discount shopping, you know.
Yeah, and that's one thing we talked about previously as well. Like we're setting this funding goal as a realistic, this is how much money we need to make these products and deliver them. It's not like hey, let's fund as quick as possible and ride this hype train and hopefully we'll make the money back up in, you know, the hype. But this is realistic. This is what we need. If we don't reach this goal, we're going to have to look something. We're going to figure something else out. But
think of something else. No, and someone else asked on the comments today too, where they were saying how many expansions or add-ons you're going to have during the campaign. We're not all about spoilers and stuff, but we're not adding like what you see on day one, like pledge wise. That's all you're going to be spending. We're not going to be adding. We're not going to like try to nickel and dime people for more money.
Yes. And we have the simple. We have 3 pledge levels. We have the game, the books, and the bundle. And the bundle is a slightly discounted with both products. It's a pretty good deal. And we definitely recommend that pledge level if you're interested. It's
even if you don't read books, like you have to get this because it's like
it's a Christmas gift.
Yeah,
man.
it's like an awesome gift. If anybody who likes fantasy, because it's weird, you won't think this. I don't even think this sometimes because I read books, but people don't always advertise if they like to read fantasy or something. But like you'd be surprised. Anybody would probably be happy. Like if you don't know to get somebody for a white elephant or a Christmas or for their birthday, they would love to get something like this. Is an amazing gift.
Funny story actually. I was at a work trip a couple weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And I had met some of my coworkers for the first time in person, which was kind of cool. But one of them, I was just chatting over with dinner. We were just chatting about things we're into and stuff like that, movies and shows. And I asked, I think we had gotten into books. I was like, what kind of stuff do you like to read? She said, only things with castles and dragons. I'm like, I would have never guessed that you were.
Like, I remember going to my doctor back I had a previous general practitioner. We barely talked, you know, we weren't like personable. We kind of just did the doctor stuff and I left. But we got to talking one day because she knew I was an author. So she asked like what kind of books I work on. And I told her what my favorite books were. And she started going off about how much she loved Brandon Sanderson, like Robert Jordan. She was like a huge like fantasy nerd. I'm like, well, you should have told me, man. So I gave her a bunch of my books and then she moved away. And now we can't talk about books anymore. But like, yeah, it's just people don't always express how much they might love fantasy. But also, not only that, like even if you don't love reading, this might get you into reading because first off, these things, if you're not watching the video, go check out the YouTube. These things feel amazing. They're the perfect size to read. They also have illustrations by the lovely, talented Ellie Tinbrink.
Should be noted that this isn't the final page color. It's not going to be. Is it going to be the same quality?
It's going to be like a cream. It's like.
Is it the same feel?
It's similar, but you'll feel this is kind of like stiff. This is like just white print paper.
It feels smooth.
It feels smooth, but like cream paper is a little more like kind of. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It has a different feel to it. But if you go to the bookstore and you grab a book and you feel the paper, it's going to be similar to that. It's like pretty standard cream.
Yeah, it's definitely like handheld. You can read this comfortably.
It's funny, some people might think it's small because like I was showing this off at Barnes & Noble and one guy, he was a tall guy, but I showed him this. He's like, well, it's tiny. I'm like, that's the same size as a mass market. Just because it's hardcover, it might look smaller, but
yeah.
But it's a beautiful size and it's
good quality book, man.
The reason I wanted to do this so bad is if you haven't seen I did a video on TikTok where I was explaining the trim size because I'm pretty snooty with my book sizes. But I remember coming across a Robert Jordan book that was when the show started. They did a limited edition mini hardcover of The Wheel of Time broken up into 2 volumes. Eye of the World, which is the book 1 of The Wheel of Time, but it was like this size, and I picked it up. I didn't like Robert Jordan, but I read that entire. Well, I do like Robert Jordan. I don't love The Wheel of Time. It's not my favorite book series, but when I got that book, I read through the whole thing in like a few days because I just couldn't put it down. Just a great handheld size. Love it.
So all that being said, even if you aren't an avid reader, it's a nice product, and if you get it and don't read it, you could easily gift it to somebody who would probably appreciate it.
I think you should get that level just to spite Adam because it was kind of a fight to get him to let me include this on this because we were going to do just like a even simpler Kickstarter or Gamefound, where it's just the game, like no extra pledge levels, no other things to kind of like mess with.
Yeah, prove me wrong. I'd like for you to prove me wrong to show us that we sold more books than games on the campaign.
Brady is right. I don't even care about numbers. I don't care. I mean, I'm expecting to get more pledges for the games because it's Gamefound. But yeah, prove me wrong.
I did see that comment on, I think it was BGG or something. It's like, really wish they wouldn't incessantly plug their books or whatever.
Yeah. I was on RPG Geek, and I would flash the image up here, but I don't want to like out. Even though people post online, I don't want to like out them and say, look at this person's post. But like somebody was posting a list about upcoming crowdfunding campaigns, and somebody was saying they're excited about the Malice of Light Adventures, and some guy's like, yeah, I'm not excited about how much they incessantly plug their novels. And first off, they're my novels, but also, like, how do you not?
It's the company.
Yeah, how
part of the company.
How do you not talk about it if it's part of the campaign? Yeah. Like, it's like,
well, it was probably because in updates you would link to the Amazon store.
Oh, okay.
Like books you'd go buy.
Yeah, I read that people don't like to be sold to, like, on social media. I'm not great at social media etiquette, but apparently this is a funny anecdote. We have time for anecdotes on a podcast, right? Like,
podcast is an anecdote.
I get frustrated because I post a lot on social media. Adam gives me crap about it because I'll just post random thoughts just because, like, I like to write, but I post on Instagram, which is tied to Threads. So if I post a picture on Instagram, it goes to Threads. And like last week, 2 weeks ago, I forget what it was, I posted a picture of me holding my brick hammer, which is a retro handheld emulator device. And I was playing Resident Evil on it or something. And it got like 500 likes and like 30 plus comments in the first day it was posted.
500? That an exaggeration?
No, like it's like up to 630 now or something. It was like 500 the first day. But yeah, just tons of people liking it, asking questions. Where'd you get that? Blah, blah, blah.
It's funny because you're selling them something. Like
I know, yeah. I'm selling for a different company, which is weird. So like, and that it's great because I get to like, just chat with people about stuff I like. But then if I post like my books or like my games, like crickets, like not even one like nothing. It like the algorithm just totally suppresses it. And I don't blame people for not liking it. I blame the algorithm because it knows I'm trying to sell something. And it's weird because how does it know I'm trying to sell myself and not like some other company's
your name's on the book.
But then I tried to do Adam's advice where like I'll take a picture of me playing my handheld at a book signing. That might get through. Nope. I got like maybe 2 likes on it or something. So
I think one of them was probably just me.
Yeah. So it's just very and I was like trying to do some research about like, people don't like to be sold to on social media. And I get that. But when I'm on social media, that's where I do most of my buying. Like if I see somebody playing a game, I'm like, I'll check the game out and I'll go buy it. So it is kind of my shopping experience, but
I just try to stop buying things.
The algorithm just suppresses me completely. So that's probably something I should know more about, being like the chief marketing officer of this company. But
it is chief marketing, chief creative.
Well, I still like marketing. Yeah, I'm still involved in marketing. I'm filling the role of that, even though we don't have somebody doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I was unsure how the books would do on Gamefound because we were, as we were preparing this project, we both wanted to do Gamefound as our first choice because the integration with the Pledge Manager is just like, it's board game specific. It's just it's a cool platform. But
I'd say the logo is green, but Kickstarter's green too. So,
but Kickstarter does seem to have a bigger user base in general, and also the book community, like backing book projects, is bigger on Kickstarter. So like we probably would have gotten more traffic on Kickstarter, like just what do you call that when it's organic, like organic traffic. So we're curious how this goes. Hopefully, there's still people that can go to Gamefound and like they want to get a book or something with their game. So
it will be curious if seeing how this goes. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here, but see how this campaign goes. But the Relic Myers, I feel like already has more of an established fan base, even though we have a name for ourselves in tabletop games. I feel like just the different book crowds that have discovered Relic Myers, there might be enough of a existing fan base where if we did that one on Kickstarter, like that might be a good way to like kind of gauge what the difference would be. But
it'd be hard because I feel like if Malice of Light Adventures successfully funds, I feel like I'd probably want to just stick to Gamefound as opposed to.
They probably want us to stick there too, but they can make it worth their while.
Well, it also depends. It just depends on how well this does. I mean, honestly, if this doesn't fund and we're like, okay, what do we do next? We might just take it to the Kickstarter and see how it does there.
Yeah, it's already prepped. So
it's bad press. It's not great press when you have campaign that doesn't fund, because it kind of, some people just take it as like a lack of interest, which could be the case, but there also could be other factors as well where people might not just have found it or whatever reason.
Yeah. And I don't want to speculate too much because right now we're 2 days ahead of launch. This comes out when we're launching.
Yeah, it'd be funny if we were talking about this when like
we're already funded. But like it will be curious because it worked out really well where I wanted to launch earlier. We just weren't ready. But now that we're ready, like there's nothing really launching. There's like 2 other, like I think Core of Discovery is doing like a reprint on Gamefound. Oh no, they're on Kickstarter. So they're doing a Kickstarter. I'm not sure what's going on Kickstarter this month or this few weeks, but apparently from my own research there's not much launching, so like we could be in a really good spot where we're like the only really big box game out there. So
and we did time this pretty well, where a lot of times with games in the past where we would like preparing for going to print and stuff like that, we would always have to conflict with Chinese New Year. This time Chinese New Year is happening like right now. I think that's going on, but
is it over when the last week of February? Is that when they're back? Or
I think so.
Or like first week of March, whatever. It's pretty close. So.
But yeah, like they'll be back by the time this campaign ends, hopefully successfully. Because that way we can just get started, like, get the pledge manager open and what?
I forgot I was wearing Owlbear shirt. Go listen to Owlbear, by the way. It's my plug for Jeff and crew because Owlbear is awesome.
What was I saying?
Chinese New Year.
I have a burp coming up. I'm gonna burp into the microphone.
You should have burped over. What was it?
Yeah, so like we timed it pretty well where we got our final quote from the factory before they went on Chinese New Year, and then they can go on vacation during this crowdfunding. Hopefully when they come back we're successful, we can say, hey, let's get this process started. Let's start the molding process for the miniatures and get things rolling.
Yeah, I think the only thing that we need to hammer down still, like from the production side of things, is just the trays. Like we want to make sure we have really good storage trays.
That's the last piece though.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that's like almost the icing on the cake, because it's more like everything else is in place. How can we present this the best way?
Yeah, if you're looking at the Gamefound page, you'll probably see that we show off as much as we can with the product, and we also have videos of showing demo kits of the game in progress. One thing we can't really show yet is like the insert for the game, but rest assured we want a good insert. I think a good example of the direction we'd be going is Hour of Need from Blacklist Games, like that one of our last projects.
Sort of, but I don't want to go for the slanted card.
Yeah, I'm just saying like a card well, some token tray, like holding the miniatures, and then all fit in the box nicely. And I was talking to our playtesters about this. Like the reason why our hero boards are the size they are is because they're perfectly sized, so 2 of them can stack on top of a map tile, and it's the same size, so it's the same like form factor. And this was something we planned from the very beginning, where I wanted to have this nice, everything fits in a box, stores up nicely, sets up easy, just fun game to play, no hassle.
Yeah, and the nice thing too about, because like thinking of Hour of Need, there were things I would change about Hour of Need because we didn't have direct communication with the factory. That was the problem. We'd have to report to Blacklist and say, hey, this is we want X, Y, and Z, but we feel like that didn't always get conveyed to the factory. So now
we get to give it to us. We want to change. Oh, it's too late. We can't change it.
Yeah. So now we have direct communication with the factory, and I can give our contact at Eastar, here's how I want this to look. Here's my rough sketch. Sorry for all the curse words in there. And they can have some back and forth. We can figure out the best way to do it. So I think it's gonna come out to our specifications as far as like functionality, and the quality is always there because this we've seen what this factory does. So yeah, we're pretty stoked to see the final product. So hopefully, by now, since I don't know when you're listening to this, hopefully it's afternoon and we're already funded. So that'll be cool.
Again, I feel like it's optimistic, but it'd be awesome if it happened. It'd be awesome if we funded on day one. But like I said, as long as we fund, this is the funding level is comfortable enough for us to manufacture the game hopefully with no issues at all and on schedule. That's one thing we want to be sure about. We don't want to just cut corners and fly by the seat of our pants. Make sure we have enough money from the campaign, no matter how well it does, as long as it funds, we'll be good to go. And we have so much cool stuff that we want to do after this game, even with this game in the future. So that's why I'm nervous, is not because it's the end of the world if it doesn't fund, but if it does fund, it opens the door to so many other cool projects and things we can do as a company. So
yeah, it's more just if it doesn't fund, it's fine, we'll figure something out, but it just kind of prolongs all these other plans we want to do. I think if we didn't fund I don't want to talk about that, but if for some reason it didn't fund as much, this first campaign didn't work out, it might throw off the autumn.
Well, definitely
would. Well, no, I mean, because like I still want to do the book, but I hate to like, even if the book is released by itself, whatever. But it'd be ideal if we could line those up, just like we're lining these up, because this worked out so well. So
we're
just go back the game.
Yeah, we're just super excited for it, and like not just because it's our new company, it's like that, but like we just want this game. This game's fun. I feel like it should be out in the market. There's not something that scratches that itch for me available out there. So I think I was talking to Brady about this, where it's kind of a bummer what happened to like Simon on the crowdfunding side, where they had so many big games or whatever, but they filled that market of like kind of like these big box miniature games. With them kind of not active anymore, it's kind of like, well, maybe this could like scratch that itch for people, like because it's that kind of game, heavily thematic.
It's the big thing is like just because like Fantasy Flight was there for a while before the crowdfunding took over, where Fantasy Flight was the premier like big budget, high theme publisher, and then Simon swooped in for a while, dominated that space. But even Simon, I felt like they tried to do so many different things, too many things that they didn't have a focus. Hopefully we can maintain our focus, because like I can only write so many books, and we got
and I've also hammered this, I think, so hard. Like I really want to return to that era of releasing a game, like not have a crowdfunding, here's a game and here's 20 products you need to buy all at once. We haven't even played the game yet, but buy all these boxes. But like, no, just a game, a cool product, reasonably priced, not spending $500 on a game. Like $100, get a game, check it out. If you like it, we'll expand it. But that's kind of where we were coming from, where we're going to approach this. Even if this blows the roof off and does like crazy amounts of funding, our next project we still want to do something similar, where we have a game. We might.
There'll be some like we
might have some like little expansions or something, but not like 20 boxes of stuff.
Yeah, ideally, like my ideal campaign is always like here's a base game, maybe a little cool expansion that has some modular stuff you can put in there, which I have plans for Relic Myers, and then like maybe a stretch goal box. Like that's like the extent of it. I wouldn't want to have like because like one of my problems as a consumer is I love companies like Awaken Realms. I get like Grim Coven, it's an amazing game. I get I guess it wasn't Awaken Realms, but the Witcher Old World is incredible production, but I just don't like having these like 5 boxes stacked up. I gotta like store somewhere. And
as a backer though, do you like stretch goals? Because I honestly don't. Like I don't really like.
It's not that I like the stretch goals. I like active content that keeps the excitement. Like
I like every day seeing something new. That's kind of how we structured our campaign, is because I like that, keeping the campaign interesting, something new to see every day. But I don't like that tied to funding, where people stress out about how much money they're raising. Like, we didn't get anything today.
And I won't spoil it. But you'll see in the Malice of Light, we did exactly what we like. Like we got to choose how we did the daily unlocks, and that is my ideal way to do it. I can't talk about it yet till like next episode, but I really like. Unless you want to, I mean, I guess we won't post the daily unlock right away. So if they're listening to this now, they won't have the daily unlock.
But talk about it. We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah. So I won't go into detail. But
if you want to see it, go to the Gamefound page.
We won't talk about it here. Go check the Gamefound page. But that's the ideal way I would want to do it. And I'll just remind you, we'll talk about it next week about why I prefer that, and like how we can do that going forward with other games too, because that's always how I pitched it before, and I've kept getting pushback, especially from like Blacklist, who had the old school mentality of we got to do exactly what Zombicide did.
Also, I think one of the failings of Blacklist, again, I have no idea because we didn't have any kind of look into the budget, but from our experience of games, games manufacturing, stuff like that, I feel like they fell in that trap where they were just like putting a low funding goal just to make sure they funded and it looked good, but it wasn't actually like a realistic goal to produce the game.
Yeah, it was like no math done ahead of time and no budget.
It was, but it was like it's just like excluding all all the fixed costs and upfront costs and like shipping problems and stuff like that. And also, people always want like low shipping prices and stuff like that, or some people like undercut shipping to make it look good. But you got to just go with what the fulfillment company tells you is going to be the estimated cost, because that's what it costs to ship. You can't control that. So bigger companies can kind of absorb that cost, but we're not there yet. So.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt this for a word from our sponsor here. I forgot to mention this before. somebody commented on my Facebook post that said, "I'm a huge fan of the Relic Myers series. Please keep writing these. You're an inspiration. I'm chomping at the bit to read book 3, Metalhead to Metalhead, Killer Work Man. Much respect." So
I thought you already shared that.
with you, yeah, I didn't share it with.
You shared it in the Discord.
I didn't share it with.
That's only people listening to the Discord.
We didn't talk about that either. Like another hot off the press is this podcast you're listening to now is officially number 5 in the top 45 twin brother podcasts out there.
Did you look at that list and see if there was actually 45 on there?
Yeah. Guess who the number 1 was? You will. My goal is to usurp the number 1 slot because it's occupied by the Hodge twins, those conservative muscleheads that they talk about Trump all the time. You ever heard of those guys?
I've never heard of those guys.
I think it was James, or one of our old singers, James Shields. I think he knew them because they were. Did he know? Somebody knew them from like the.
Don't throw out names that you aren't sure about.
well, they used to just be kind of like normal personalities when they got all super conservative recently. So, but they're like the number 1 twin brother podcast. My goal is to usurp them. So we got to take that slot over. And
I guess we better get political. Then.
Yeah, yeah, we got to start getting political because that's how you get the clicks. But anyway, I sidetracked our discussions about funding, which we're already funded, so we should just move on to something else, right?
No, that'd be great. Again, super nervous, super excited. Really curious to see how things go. We'll be in the comments of the Gamefound, so if you are listening to this on launch day, join us and spread the word, man. Get your friends involved to get everybody you know to this thing. Let's make it a fun 21 days because that's how long the campaign's going to be.
Yeah, and since it's like launch day, I guess it would have been good if I prepared talking points about because we talked about the game for like the weeks leading up to this.
Why back now? Is that what you want to talk about?
Yeah, maybe somebody came across this podcast and they're not fully aware like what the hell we are or what the hell we do.
I've tried to avoid doing that for every single episode where it's like, let's imagine the person listening has never heard of us before. Yeah. So we can't do an intro podcast every
also,
single
it's too late
episode.
in the episode, right? It's too late in the episode to do like an overview.
But yes.
Maybe why back now?
Why back now is a good thing. We got some, we'll go back and forth some points. Number 1 is this game is fun. Brady and I have had years of experience designing games, several that people really like and have been pretty popular. There have been lots of issues with availability for a lot of our games because we did a lot of games for like crowdfunding that just did one print run and never went to retail. People have trouble finding them. People, licensing getting canceled from a publisher. Lots of reasons why we, don't have games available. This game is going to be our game we own. I think it's one of the first games we've ever designed from the beginning, knowing that we own the game. Like we are owning this product. We make the decisions for it.
And it wasn't on a contract. We weren't like hired specifically to do a game.
Yeah, we did this for fun. We did this because we wanted this game to exist, and it just kind of poured out of us. And I think people who are involved in our playtesting group, they could vouch for how fun it is. It's our most elegant design we've ever to date, I think.
Yeah, the 2 points going off of that same point is number 1 is this has gotten if you like any of our designs, this has gotten by far like light years more development work than any game we've worked on. I feel like any project we've been a part of, like as designers, this game
playtesting.
Yeah, playtesting, development, everything. Like it's had the most focus on it, I think, before printing.
And I think one of the big aspects of that is the limited content, where we're not designing like 5 expansions out of the gate. We're just designing this core set.
But even with game. Like Terranoth and Warhammer Quest, I feel like this is like
because those games again, we design something and we hand it off to the publisher and they kind of just run with it.
But even when it gets handed off, like there's development work that gets done with the publisher. I feel like this game has exceeded that as well. Plus, that going off the other point is the playtesters. We have the most engaged playtesters we've ever had for a project because people like the game. Like people really feel passionate about it. They want to make it better. We had 3 of our most enthusiastic playtesters help us develop the
I think I should mention this too. I think I should mention this because we didn't say this publicly in our we didn't say we have a playtesting channel in our Discord where people sign NDAs. We invite them to playtest and then they give feedback. We had a handful of playtesters that were extremely engaged and active. And it was a big pool of playtesters, but there's a small handful that were really active. So we decided to select those few active playtesters and make them our VIP playtesters, and we made a separate channel that's like private to just them. So like they are super active, even like outside of our normal playtest group, which isn't as active because we pulled them out of there. So anybody who's in that regular playtesting group and are wondering what we're talking about, that's what we're talking about. Is we have a sub level of private playtesting that is
because the conversation would have been really skewed in the general playtesting, because like a lot of the discussions got so like
conversational,
so deep and granular that like we kind of had to have a separate channel just for
I mean, these playtesters are probably on the verge of being developers. Like they were involved with lots of aspects of refining some of the systems and trying things out for us.
They were developers from
they were. And
Redacted.
They've been credited and some special redacted thing that you might see in a redacted unlock.
Stay tuned. You got it. If you back the campaign, you'll find out what we're talking about.
I think that's my number one point, is that like it's a really fun game. It's a labor of love, and it is also that's the first point. I have another point. But do you have another point?
Yeah, I do.
Follow?
Yeah, because maybe some people who come across this podcast or this campaign will do so because I put some ads in the books. So like if when this launches on February 17th, today you're listening to, anybody can get The Acrid Sky on ebook for $1. It's on sale. Anybody who does, ignore this printing, by the way, because if you can see this on YouTube,
really bad.
This is dark because it was printed wrong, but we fixed it for the final, obviously. But there's an ad in here. You can scan the QR code to go to the Gamefound page. So if anybody's a fast reader and grabs The Acrid Sky for $1 on today and reads through it and comes across that, we might have some people who are just here from the books side of things and might want to know, hey, I don't play that many board games, or I'm not used to seeing games like this. What is this going to be like playing through the story? If I'm a fan of the books, do I need this game? Yeah. If you like the book, if you read The Acrid Sky or any of these books and you enjoy the characters, like the Malice of Light Adventures is just a great way to engage with those characters in that world without repeating the story. You're not just playing through the same story that you read. You're just getting to do adventures in a like what if scenario. Like what if Annika faced off against Ithacan in Blakehurst when it was on fire, or whatever it is. So it's like
I still wonder if there are people that actually would prefer that, because I don't at all. Like if
prefer playing through linear.
Yeah, like playing recreating, like because I remember back when I worked at Fantasy Flight Games when I was working on X-Wing. Everybody working there was obsessed with doing a trench run scenario because of the movie. And I'm like, I don't understand.
I think that's different though, because you can do that. You can do a trench run, but not like just doing like literal, like playing through the same.
Yeah, but even that, it's like I was way more interested in just doing random dogfighting.
Well, let me run by you. And when you read through, because you recently read through Withered Roots, and you read through I think the amazing segment of Runes of Arcif. You would be like, oh, I want to play a scenario in there. I want to check that out.
Yeah, but not the exact same thing I'm talking about.
Right. It's not the exact same.
But that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that what we did is what I prefer. I don't know if there are people that would rather just play exact stories from book. Like I want to play this chapter. Like
it's hard to say.
Remember the Walking Dead game we did where they wanted to keep doing these episodes? Yeah. Like I wonder if people actually like that. Like yeah. I don't.
It's hard to say because I think it's like it can be very nuanced, because you can do it, because I think like if we were doing a Star Wars game and we thought, hey, we should do a trench run, I wouldn't literally do the same trench run. I'll like do something that kind of like does an homage to it or something. But I'm talking about like if I go out and I buy the Princess Bride adventure book game where you literally just play through each act of the movie, people will probably like that because they know that movie so well. But when you're reading a book series that's more in depth, it's like there's more layers than just a 2-hour movie. I think it's different. So it could probably be seen both ways. But I think if you're getting into a hobby level game based on a dense work, I think it's probably fair to say most people would not just want to do the same things. Like if you're playing a Game of Thrones game, you probably don't want to do the same Eddard Stark.
No, I know that. I know that I would.
I know. Yeah, it's more like hypothetical you, like the royal you. But,
that was your point, though, was that there are books.
I mean,
why back now? Because of the books.
Yeah, but why would I want this game? Like Why? I guess
I'm just saying why back now. Mine was this game was
so
fun.
yours was good. Mine was
No, I want to know what a bullet point. Why back now? What's the bullet?
You get to experience the stuff you love from the books on the
If you love if you love books, the game adds to it. Okay, cool. immerse yourself in the narrative.
I'm not a salesman, dude.
I'm just trying to high level stuff like by and I guess another one I would make would be why back now is that like
the company needs the money.
The product's not going to exist unless people back it. So like if you want this to exist, back it.
Yeah.
Don't approach this like I'll just pick it up in retail. There's no guarantee it's going to be in retail.
You got to get it now. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of publishers set that precedent where it's like they present it as like there's a discount buy this huge bulk quantity of this thing. So they can, if they sell enough boxes at a certain price, they can make money. But we just want to make the product. So like we're not trying to sell you a bunch of stuff for a high cost. It's more like we have a reasonably priced pledge, just so we can make this thing happen, because the next campaign we do, we'll probably be able to blow that one up a lot more. So
yeah, that was mine. Was it might not be available otherwise. So
I think it's hard to say without like revealing all of our plans, like all of our ideas. But Twin Tail Studios has a lot of potential. I think like we can do a lot of cool things. We have a lot of cool connections. We got a lot of cool partnerships. We got a lot of great enthusiastic fans. A lot of cool properties to build. But we need to start here. So if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more of Twin Tail Studios productions, then I mean this is the time to help fund it.
If you want more Sadler games,
yeah. Sadler games are not out there widely. So if you want to see more of them, this is the best way to do it.
We're not going to say that we're not going to design for other publishers ever again.
We already are.
We're definitely open to that idea. But this is the way for us to control our games the way we want to do them and do them right. So if you want more Sadler games, this is the best way to get Sadler games. I should mention that like while I try to separate ourselves from Blacklist a lot, the game design, like the games, the products, that was most of us. Like that was mostly our work. We had to work in a lot of confinements for like IP and art and certain things, but like the game design, the product development, that was us. So that was something that we can be proud of.
Which is funny because if you see anybody talking about Blacklist retroactively, it's always like, I love the Sadler's designs, but Blacklist sucks, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, well, if you like the designs, this is where you want to be.
Yeah. And I think someone made some comment like asking like, do you guys have somebody else planning all the financial decisions? Because they're trying to base off Blacklist. It's like we had no input or vision at all to Blacklist financials, so like it's not comparable at all. We are doing all this ourselves, so this is again. Like I think Bray mentioned this in the previous episode. Like if you're cautious about Blacklist, feel free to just stand by and watch and see how we do things. But we will be doing things much differently for how we run things.
But if you want to come in conservatively, the books are a great way to do that. You're not, because the books are what's the pledge level? Is it still
$50 for
$50? So $50, you get these cool books. These books are awesome, and they're like, these are print ready. We just need the funds to make the print run go. So
yep. Overall, I feel like we've made this as safe as possible. It might not be like the cheapest shipping or like the best.
Yeah, who can predict with tariffs?
I mean, like like there's lots of things out of our hands, but like we've made this the safest bet financially. That if you want to back something from us, this is probably the best way you can do it right now. So
yeah, and the Dow Jones is 50,000. I was gonna make a Pam Bondi joke, it didn't fit in anywhere.
So we're not going political. I said, God, just get over it. So his point was that Sadler Games, this is the place to do it, and I think that was kind of what my next point was going to be. Was like this is the first step in how our company's success. If this project's successful, we have lots of plans for cool stuff in the future. But of course, even if this funds, the first focus is getting it delivered. So like we're not going to be doing the next thing until everybody has this game or these books. So also there is if this game is successful in this retail, there's a good chance it's going to be more expensive in retail. Like the MSRP is probably going to be slightly higher than what we're offering in the Gamefound. So another reason to back would be you get it cheaper and earlier. So it's the best price, the best way to get it. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, also, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, if you want the game, you'll be backing anyway. But like I said, we're like ready to go. So like if we can get this funded, we can get this delivered, this summer, like hopefully. I mean, our goal is to be able to have this to showcase at Gen Con. And
I can't stress enough too that if you are, if you're interested in our games but you don't read, because you're probably like me. If you don't read much, I could probably relate to you. I do enjoy reading. I just don't do it very often. But I would recommend highly that if you're interested in the game, you get the bundle, because it's a good price. And like Brady said, even if you don't read these right away, you might be tempted to read them and get, be able to read some cool fantasy stories. And if you don't, it's a really awesome product to gift to somebody that would like fantasy. So I would highly recommend picking it up. It's a great collector's item. The bundle is a great deal.
They call it a gift box for a reason, because it's a great gift. But also, like, I see a lot of companies offering like art or lore books. That's what this is. Like, there's art in here, there's lore in here, and it just happens to be a lot of lore.
And it is really cool to play a game like this. That's if you're playing characters, it's like, the reason people like licensed games for movies or shows, they're playing these characters that they're familiar with. So if you read the book, all of a sudden these characters take on a whole new meaning for you. You start understanding their relationships with each other and all that stuff. It makes it even deeper experience. So
I guess my point will be too, is if you want a Relic Myers game, back this game, because
we definitely have a cool idea for Relic Myers game, but again, that is if this is successful and after this is fulfilled. So if you want Relic Myers game, definitely that's another reason to back this, because that's going to lead to open the door to it.
Mostly because I just want to stay on schedule. Like we won't stop from whatever failures. It's just like we'd like to just keep the train moving and hit our next stop on time. So.
And plus, we've partnered with some cool like artists, graphic designers, sculptors, all this, like people that make cool looking stuff. They've enjoyed working with us. We've made good relationships with them, and they want more work, and we'd love to give it to them. We'd love to hire them for more work.
Human artists, man. That's another reason. We got human artists that want to do art for us. We want to pay them. So let's get some funds to do that. Should we do listener questions, or?
I think we have a couple.
I don't know how much time it's going to occupy, but might as well roll into that. I think
there were. There's somebody else posted one. Okay, so
I can just make some up too.
Blackheart Paladin. I think we always our majority of our listener questions are playtester questions.
Yes. One of our good playtesters.
He said, "I've always enjoyed video check-ins you guys did with prior games. How often do you think you will do them during the campaign?"
I'm more than happy to do those, like, even if you don't want to, like, because I have a setup where I can just like share I can do TikTok updates.
No, I mean, if we fund day one, we can do a live stream the next day. What I don't want to do is I don't want to sit on a live stream and watch the funding level just crawl.
I love that, because you get yourself a gold rush and you sit there and you talk to yourself.
It makes me feel sad. I'm like, I don't want to put people through this if they're like watching some sad crawl.
I don't feel that way at all. I roll with it. I go to book signings and nobody comes up, and I'm having a blast.
But I think it's going to be a 3-week campaign, so we'll have at least 2 podcast episodes. I think we'll probably make ourselves record podcast episodes.
We can do weekly for the span of the campaign. So,
but we can also do like little update videos and stuff like that. Like just to, especially if we fund quickly, we'll be more than happy to throw a video out there thanking everybody, because.
And if we don't fund day one, we'll throw a video up and just complain about how
we'll blame everybody else.
Do enough fun.
He also said, I think you mentioned during the podcast, but just to remind myself, are you guys going to post yourselves playing the game at all? I know you said you feel you don't present it as well as content creators do, but I think it would still be cool to see the bros actually playing a game as well.
Yeah, I think the main problem is we don't love showcasing a tabletop simulator. I know some people do, just as like a necessary means, because it's an easy way to do it. But I don't think it showcases the game well, and I don't want to showcase like prototype stuff, like sleeved cards and stuff like that. So that's the main hang up.
I think he's saying also because the demo kit has changed quite a bit.
We'd have to like update it.
We might not. People might not know that if they didn't listen to the last episode, but we did make some pretty not like system changes, but like we just made some updates to the design based off of feedback from the demo kits and concern about too easy stuff like that, where we kind of refined the system a bit, but.
We made it impossible.
We didn't mention it. The rule book is actually a preview of the rule book is available on the Gamefound page, so you can actually read the rules yourself to see what those changes were. But basically, the villain, the scheme tokens will flip from inactive to active to kind of make the villain doing more things on the event turn. So that's what he's talking about. Again, we're not opposed to it. Like even doing a tabletop simulator, we could just chat and do that if people want to. We're open to it, but
the way I see it, it's like I kind of look at it the same way where I wouldn't like do a live reading of my book on video.
You tried to.
Did I?
You said you would.
Well, I would if enough people asked, but like because I have like an audiobook person doing that. Brian's an awesome audiobook narrator, so I would just have him do it, and I would show clips of him. Same way we have people who have played the game who are really good at showing the game, so I'd rather just have them show them. But when we get the final game, I think it'd be great to have Adam and I play through the final stuff. That way, it's like showcasing the final product. I just don't want to showcase prototype stuff because it's just I don't think it's as awesome. But that's just me.
Cool. Old School Gamer, another playtester, VIP playtester, had a few questions. What is more difficult, writing a multi-book series or designing an expanding board game property? I would think
neither are simple. They're both simple.
They're both simple?
They're both simple. No. They're
I think the trickier question is like writing a book series that you can get people to read.
Yeah, that's like I think there's like three types of writers. I think there's like people who think it'd be cool to write a book and they don't ever write. They don't have any background in writing. They don't want to write a book, they don't want to try to write a book. They just think it'd be cool. That's like one type of writer who's like, oh, I fantasize about being a writer. There's the writer who thinks all the time about writing, but is like too scared to write because they're thinking they're gonna mess up, and it's like they don't know the best way to do it. And there's people like me who I just write. I don't even care. Like I just get stuff out, get ideas down. So like writing can be very easy for me. It might not be great writing. It's hard to like make that writing better, but I gotta write. So it's hard for me to like say how difficult that is because like I always just I just write. It just happens. Game design is kind of similar. Where like we can get hung up on certain design decisions. But I don't think we've ever just like not finished a game design,
I think it's true that any kind of creative endeavor where you can't really classify it what's easier because it's always dependent upon some things just come naturally. Like you have an idea that just flows out of you. Sometimes you're struggling. So, like writer's block you can get the same thing with game design where it's like you just can't figure out how you want to do it. And then you stop thinking about it, go take a walk, and all of a sudden a random idea comes to you and like, oh, this is great. So I think most creative endeavors are kind of equal in that regard, like writing a song. You could have like a poem that's like 1 page that like give you like you're trying to perfect it and like take years or whatever, or you could like have The Accurate Sky that I wrote in like 2 months and it's like, oh, it's fine, like I like this is fine, there's nothing wrong with it. So it's like it all depends really. It's like sometimes the pieces fall into place. I think for us the bigger challenge is probably the board game because it would require Brady getting me to get off my ass and do something because he'll just keep writing books otherwise. So.
Well, if it's a game, because the question specifically was a bunch of expansions, right?
Multi-book series or an expanding board game property.
See, that's a tricky question because I view a board game property as including the world, like the writing the book. That's easy.
I think he means board game though. I think it just means
a board game design,
like a system.
Okay. That's different. Yeah. So for me personally, I would say it is harder to write a multi-book series just because it's very isolating. Like I don't design games alone. We design games together, and we've written a book together, but I write most of my stuff alone. And that's the hardest part about writing is like nobody wants to hear your ideas. Nobody cares about.
I guess that's a question. Did you consider Ransom Creek Remains easier or harder than the books you write on your own?
I felt like that one was faster. Like that was low stakes to me. I think that's how I viewed it because it was because both our names were on it. But like if it's just my name on it, it feels like it's more pressure. I guess I don't know. But like Ransom Creek, it was very conversational. Like that book was like a lot of conversations put into story. So that was very easy for me because it was a kind of we had a shared vision. Like we didn't have a lot of like complicated what do you call it, competing ideas. They were all online. So with like Malice of Light writing this, it does come fairly naturally to me, but it is a little more stressful in the sense where it's more stressful being isolated and like I could my wife's good at listening, but she doesn't want to hear all of my plot, nuances I want to go through.
Nobody does.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not saying her specifically, but it's very hard to have a sounding board. So that's the hardest part.
His other question was, have the two of you always lived close to each other, and would your game design creativity suffer if you didn't?
We've mostly lived pretty close together. I mean, you lived in my basement.
I think
for a
there
while.
was 2 stretches of time where when I was finishing my last year in college, Brady moved to Minnesota to work at FFG, so he was there by himself for like 6 months or something.
Yeah, it was, because I moved in March and you finished up and
then I got a job after I graduated, and I moved up there. And we were in Minnesota for a while together, and then I left Minnesota to come back to Indiana, and that was like 6 months also, where you were still in Minnesota.
When did you move back? In the winter?
It was in the spring.
Because I moved in like June. End of May, early June.
That quick?
Yeah. 2012, I think it was.
Well,
2013? Yeah, 2013.
I thought it was longer, but he was in Minnesota for a while.
It feels
and then
long
he
because
sold
you have
his
separation
house.
anxiety.
and then since then we've just lived in the same area, so it hasn't been. We have had experience with that, but I think nowadays it probably wouldn't be that bad because we do most of our creative work in our own houses anyway.
Yeah.
Like we get together to chat, but like when we're doing game design, we're just in our own offices.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even though we live close together, we don't see each other like more than maybe like every few days. I think.
Well, if it's nice out, you walk by my house every freaking day, but we don't work in the same room.
Yeah, we always work virtually regardless. So like we sometimes talk about hypothetically, it'd be cool if Twin Tail Studios did really well and we could like actually get an office somewhere. It'd be kind of cool. It'd be different for us because we wouldn't be used to working in person like that together.
I think we'd actually do more physical prototypes if that was the case, where we actually had the supplies and the money to do that. Because Tabletop Simulator is nice for virtual testing with other people, but like it's so much easier and faster to test on the table.
Plus, you get to feel what the game is like, because it's so hard to get a feel of a game through Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, I'll admit that Malice of Light Adventures was pretty fun on Tabletop Simulator, but like once playing it on the demo kit, I was like, wow, this is way better than
it feels like a different experience, man. It's crazy.
So he had one other question that was, I think, a fun question that said, would either of you enter a dark pact with an eldritch god or demonic deity to secure fame and fortune? If promised, no one would be negatively affected. I don't understand how that would be a dark god if nobody would be affected.
Not the fame and fortune, but a 6-pack, I think.
Now, I was going to say not the fame, but maybe the fortune.
Money is like not a huge problem in my life. It'd be great to not have to worry about it, but like, if having a 6-pack is a huge problem in my life.
Dude, if you had the money, you didn't have to worry about work. You would just go, work out all day, right?
Well, I'd probably write books all day.
But yeah, I would definitely not do it for fame. I have no interest in fame whatsoever, but I definitely wouldn't mind just retiring.
What's the opposite of fame? What's the term I'm thinking of? Anonymity. Anonymity, is that the word?
Anonymity.
Yeah,
anonymity.
I would do it for anonymity.
Stop drinking during a podcast.
It's not about drinking. It's just about my tongue not working. Yeah, I think like maybe the fortune, just because like it's nice not having to worry about money, but really,
but a dark god, like a dark eldritch deity, like,
how dark can you be? I mean, it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, as I say, how to know how it works.
Careful, that's how Drathian got his hooks into Stephen. Who? So. Or as Brian Callen puts it, Adrathia.
Did you correct him?
No, it's like tomato, because he did the Smoldering Vein 15-minute preview, which was
Does
amazing.
he listen to the podcast?
Yeah, he listened.
Now he's gonna know.
Did I listen to it?
No, that it's a Drathian.
I already told him. I said it's fine to have, like, I like interpretations. I like, because like he says Aetha as Aetha, and that's fine, but it's just like it's
Aetha.
Yeah, Aetha, like it's Septon. But it's just I think of it as Aetha because like it's meant to be kind of like Earth, a different, like, just rearrange the letters of Earth in a way.
Earth.
Welcome to Aetha. So those are our questions, but that's almost a podcast. It's 53 minutes long.
Stardew Valley. That's what I've been doing lately.
Yeah, without me. Is my guy aging in bed?
You only want to play. Alyssa and I play for like.
Is that what you do in the mornings now?
No, she's in bed in the mornings. I play in the evenings usually, but like I've been playing my Switch 2 a lot recently because there's nothing on Xbox I want to play lately. And I was playing Octopath Traveler 0, which is a great game, by the way. If you like those JRPGs, Octopath Traveler 0, really cool. But
Is it persistent? Like you're playing through a story right now, or
for what?
Octopath Traveler 0? Is it like just you're playing through a story, like a linear story?
What do you mean? That's what they all are.
Stardew Valley isn't really like that. Stardew Valley is like a
What brought that up though?
because I thought Octopath Traveler was like one of these games where you had like a frontier and you're like
No, it is a story. You're building up a town.
okay.
Well, I'm just wondering why you're comparing to Stardew Valley.
Because you just talked about Stardew Valley.
I know, but I was getting into why I was playing the Switch. You're just confusing me. So I was playing Octopath Traveler 0, and then my wife just wanted to play something because she was sitting up on the couch like, let's play something.
Dredge?
And she has...
Did you play Dredge?
No. And she has a Switch, so we booted up Stardew Valley, started a new farm, and I got hooked back into that game. That game is really fun.
It is. It's one of those games you don't think about playing, but when you start playing it, we did that like a couple years ago. We were playing... Was that last year maybe? I don't know. We were playing Xbox in the morning. Didn't have a game to play. It's like, let's play Stardew Valley. We ended up playing like for a year straight.
When we were kids, if anybody would have told me that we could have been playing like a expandable, like cooperative version of Harvest Moon, I would have like flipped out because we loved Harvest Moon as kids. But yeah, I think my only complaint with Stardew Valley is that when I finally get to the farm, like cooking to like a great money making machine and the community center's all filled up and finished, I feel like, okay, well, I've done everything.
Did you finish the beach though, or the island?
Yeah, the beach is too much though. The beach just isn't fun for me. So
I really wish that because I know he's doing the Chocolatier game, but I wish he would just do a game that was more just
do another Stardew Valley.
Yeah, Stardew Valley 2, but make it like more open-ended. Like, I mean, it's already pretty open-ended.
Stop chasing your dreams and just do what people want. Give the customers what they want.
Yeah, there's people out there that tell you don't what's that? Don't be derivative. Be derivative. Like if it works, people like it. Just keep being derivative.
Yeah. So help us keep making endless expansions for Malice of Light Adventures and support that game for years to come. So check out the Gamefound live now. Back it. Share it with your friends. Get excited.
Get more books than games sold. Back more.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah. Say that.
Just to get the bundle. It'd be fine if everybody back in the game is just doing the bundle, so it's even, and that'll still prove me wrong.
That means we won't fight about it. We'll just be.
No, it'll still prove me wrong. I'll admit that I'm wrong. So I just feel like we're gonna have more game backers than book backers. So.
It'll be cool to see. This will be a test run to see how we can plan future campaigns. So
yes, so hope to see you there. Hope you all check it out and support us on Gamefound.
Go listen to Owlbear. Later.